Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Nafati Auni, and together with my group member Alia Maisarah and Alia Safira, we will present our project for this subject, Engineering Mathematics. Today, we will explain how metric method can be applied to solve real-life business problem. And here is the table of content for our presentation. First, we will start with the introduction, followed by the objective, then move on to data collection and analysis. Next, we will explain the inverse metric method and Cramer's rule before ending with the conclusion and reference. This project is based on scenario involving a small bakery business that sells 3 types of baked goods, namely cupcake, cookie, and muffin. The bakery earns a certain profit for each item sold, but the exact profit per item is unknown. Instead, the bakery records the total profit from selling different quantity of each item at 3 separate locations. The aim of this assignment is to apply mathematical method to determine how much profit is made from each type of baked good. To solve this, we need to formulate the scenario into a system of linear equation and represent it in metric form. Then, we will use 2 mathematical techniques, which are the inverse metric method and Cramer rule, to find the unknown profit. This assignment not only strengthens our mathematical skill but also shows how metric can be applied in business and financial problem solving. The objective of the assignment are to know how much profit per item, formulate equation based on real-life situation, and use metric representation to solve the problem. Through this project, we aim to apply metric method, improve our problem solving, enhance teamwork among group members, and gain practical knowledge on how metrics are used in a real-world application, especially in business analysis. For our data collection and analysis, we use the sales data of cupcake, cookies, and muffin. This table shows the quantity sold at 3 different shops and the total profit recorded at each location. From this data, we form a system of linear equation to determine the individual profit for each item, which will then be solved using metric method. Now that we have completed the data collection and found the system equation, I would like to pass the presentation to my group member, Alia Safira, who will explain the inverse metric method.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wan Alia Safira binti Wan Abdul Rahman. So I'm going to explain about inverse metric method. So the first one, we change the system of equation into a metric form. We write the coefficient of x, y, and z into a 3 multiply 3 metric and put the constant value into another metric. Then we calculate the determinant of the 3 multiply 3 metric. To do this, we use the cross multiplication method, which means we multiply the numbers diagonally and subtract the result. After doing all the multiplication and subtraction, we find that the determinant is 5,000. This value is quite important because if the determinant is not 0, it means the metric has an inverse and we can continue solving the system. For this slide, after we find the determinant, we calculate the adjoint metric. So, we find the cofactor for each element in the metric. Cofactor is found by covering one row and one column and calculating the determinant of the small 2 multiply 2 metric that remains. After we find all the cofactor, we arrange them into a new metric. Then we transpose the metric, which means we swap the row and column. This gives us the adjoint metric, which we will use to find the inverse of A. Okay, for this slide, we find the inverse metric by using the formula A inverse, 1 per determinant multiply adjoint A. Since we already have the determinant and the adjoint, we just multiply the adjoint metric by 1 over 5,000. After that, we multiply the inverse matrix with the constant matrix B. We perform matrix multiplication carefully, row by column, and then we get 3 values. Finally, we divide the result by 23,000 since the determinant used was adjusted during calculation. And then we get the final result, X 4.4, Y 9.6, and Z 8.6. So this means we have successfully solved the system using the inverse matrix method.
Hi, my name is Alia Masarah binti Muhammad Sazali from DKQ2A. ID number is 2534-032. Now I want to presentation about the assignment for engineering math 2. I did the calculation, but for Cramer's rule, before I start the step, I took the number from the equation and turned them into a matrix. And then I continued calculation using Cramer's rule. The first step was to calculate theta 0. I did this by cross multiply diagonally from bottom to top 3 times, and then from top to bottom 3 times. After that, I subtract both results. The answer I got was for the theta 0 was 5,000 and 5,000. Okay. The second step was to find data x. I used the same method, cross multiply from bottom to top 3 times and from top to bottom 3 times. Then I subtract what answer, and the result I got was 22,000. The third step was to calculate data y. I also used the same cross multiplication method and subtract both results. The final answer for data y was 48,000. Next, I calculate data z for also using the same step, multiply diagonally and subtract both results. The answer I got was 43,000. Okay, now the final step was to calculate the value of x, y, and z. To find x, I use the formula modulus of data x divided by data 0, and answer was 4.4. For y, I divided the modulus for data y by data 0, and the result was 9.6. And lastly, for z, I divided the modulus of data z by data 0, and the answer I got is 8.6. Okay, so that's my presentation today. So thank you. Thank you, Sarah, for the explanation of grammar rule. Now I will proceed to the conclusion of our presentation. In this assignment, we successfully applied matrix concept to solve a real-world problem involving a bakery profit. We found a system of equations based on the number of cupcakes, cookies, and muffins sold at 3 different locations. By using both the inverse matrix method and Cramer rule, we found that the profit per cupcake is Rm4 ringgit 40 cents, the profit per cookie is 9 ringgit 60 cents, and the profit per muffin is 8 ringgit 90 cents. These results show that matrix methods are very effective in business analysis and can help small business calculate their profit more accurately. Our reference for this project are the lecturer notes from the subject Engineering Mathematics, the course textbook, and online resources such as Symbolab for matrix calculation and Metis Fund for understanding grammar rule. So that's all for my group presentation. Thank you.